I'm getting money, you see me. Stack it up to the ceiling. If you're looking for me, you know just where to find me. I'm on a pod with TC, Oh, I'm on a pod.
All right, welcome. This is Financial Literacy with TC. I am your boy TC. As always, I want to thank you guys for joining me. So many podcasts out in the world you could have chosen to listen to, but you always choose to come back to mine, and I'm so appreciative of that. Today, man, we're on location again. We're gonna take a minute just to briefly look at the room, look at the chandelier. I know you see it. If you're not familiar with this space, we're gonna dive into why you should be. But before we get started, I want to make sure you like, subscribe, and share. I want to continue to bring you amazing content. But today, I want to get into the gentleman that I got sitting right next to me. Y'all gonna have to bear with me for a minute because these are some impressive brothers, and I want to make sure I do my due diligence to make sure I highlight and emphasize the greatness that they are. So we're gonna start with he hails from Wilkesburg, PA. So if you're not familiar with Wilkesburg, shout out to Wilkesburg. Graduate 2016 from Slippery Rock University with his MBA. He has been featured in a number of publications, Pittsburgh Courier, WPXI, I can go on and on. Currently, entrepreneur, business owner, has multiple businesses, which we're going to dive into. I'll say the one I'm excited about the most is called World Professional Wealth. Thank you. I'm like, no, that ain't right. Wealth Professional Worldwide. Yep. All right, cool. All right, appreciate you, brother. Yeah. He's also been a leadership for Black Excellence Leadership Council. He has a cleaning company. He also has his agency that he started. Man, he's just done phenomenal things, man. If you don't know him in Pittsburgh, he's one of the people that I would say you should know. I've always known of him, but over the past few months, I've gotten to know him a little bit better. And honestly, I'm excited to have him on the show because this will give me an opportunity to know him even more as he continues to do amazing things with him and his brother, who isn't here. But I'm going to give it up to Elijah Hill. Appreciate you joining me, brother. And then he got one of his young guns, man, Dre Miller. I'm excited to meet him, man, and he's going to tell you a little bit about what he's about, what he's doing. And I just want to give him his props, too.
Yeah, appreciate it, bro.
All right, Dre. All right, Dre, it's cool with you, bro. We're going to just talk about Elijah real quick, and then we're going to segue to what you guys have been doing with the company. Elijah, I'm going to hand this over to you, brother.
Yes, sir. By the way, too, for the viewers who are watching, make sure you definitely like, subscribe, and share. And by the way, too, I got Drew Miller. Yeah, that's his name. And shout out to UTC, man. Thank you for your platform, man. It was an honor to meet you as recently down here at the Vista Center. Definitely can't wait to build with you even more.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Brother, I appreciate it, man, because one of the things that impressed me about you, because I'm an entrepreneur as well. So one of the things that impressed me about you was making sure that, I understood the perspective that you come from. So once I did a little reading into your background, understanding, I'm like, man, this brother come from the same places I've been. He's done some of the same things I've done. But I would go as far to say to a greater scale, just because you guys are now doing business in multiple states. I don't want to give too much away early, but I say all that to say I was just generally impressed by you and your brother. Definitely wanted to at least start with the first question being, because I know you guys play basketball going into college, and you guys basically what I've read from the narrative. You didn't grow up with a silver spoon in your mouth. You guys didn't come from fruition. And I was just curious man, how did you come up with the entrepreneurial mindset? And when did financial literacy and just everything you know about finances, when did that click for you? Was it, while you were going to college? Was it in high school? Or when did your mindset just change?
Yep, definitely, man. It's crazy that you said that, too. So, again, born and raised in Wilkesburg. And the entrepreneurial mindset, we thought it started for us in college, but when we reflect back and look back, it started while we were in high school. So growing up in a single parent household, my mom, she a government worker, paid the bills, always did what she had to do. But it came down to us going to prom. So, we had to raise some money to go to prom. She raised 2 twin boys and everything. So from there, we start selling candy in school.
Okay.
We start doing car washes, and then obviously we went off to college. And at that point in time, when we went to Slippery Rock University, that's where we really got exposed to maturing. We got exposed to building relationships, and then from there, entrepreneurship really jumped off for us. So that's where it really started up at Slippery Rock University. But reflecting back, it started while we were in high school at Wilkinsburg High School and selling candy, doing car washes just so we could pay for our prom and go to prom.
And Drew, man, since we're on the topic, because I know you guys are business partners right now, which we'll get into a little bit later. I don't want to give too much away too early. Got to keep some suspense. But just what your upbringing like, man, as far as what got you into the mindset of getting into the career field that you've chosen.
Got you. Yeah, definitely.
We good now.
Dude, I would say for me, with my upbringing, my dad, he was a janitor at Washington School District. My mom, she ended up retiring from her job as a nurse very, very early. And come to find out, 14 years old, my dad, he got diagnosed with stage 4 cancer. So he had to stop working, man. So from there, kind of me and my older brother, he's 28 years old now, but we had to kind of start providing for our family in a sense.
Right.
So I would say for me, I started flipping shoes, selling candy, selling backpacks and hoodies and stuff like that in school. So I'd say that's probably for me whenever I realized I really wanted to be an entrepreneur. And even in college, I got a business management degree, but I never really put it to use in the sense of working a regular corporate 9 to 5, right? I went to a Penn State branch campus, so they didn't really offer entrepreneurial courses, but I did my own due diligence to make sure I sharpened my mindset as an upcoming entrepreneur to make sure, when the opportunity presented itself, I could take advantage of it.
Oh, that's what's up, man. And that's crazy because, it wasn't anything out of necessity that forced me to start thinking differently. Unfortunately, I'll keep it a buck. I wish right out of college and right out of, being on my own, I had a better understanding of money, finances. Honestly, I was a late bloomer when it really struck me and life started life and where I had to really be, and then I got into banking. It was like, all right, now I need to understand how money moves, how money works. So later on, it will be revealed why that's so significant based on what we all do for career fields. But just, I'm gonna go to Elijah on this one. If you wanna pass her the mic. One of the things that recently I'll start with this. One of the things I've recently saw you have success in, and I'm gonna say big kudos to you because you and your brother were recently in Vegas. You guys had, I think your top 500, and correct me if I pronounce or don't say this correctly, top 500 as far as entrepreneurship goes in the world. And so is that correct?
Yeah, that's correct.
Okay, because I don't want to do you a disservice because honestly, I'm so proud of that and I'm so motivated by that because one, this podcast is meant to highlight individuals who aren't in the limelight as a rapper, athlete. So one of the things that I feel like needs to be elevated more is seeing people look like us who have conquered, not to say you don't have bigger aspirations and greater goals, but who have, reached a pinnacle that we don't see in our community. And, for me, as I looked you up and everything, I'm like, damn, why you just blasted all over everywhere on social media? Like, it is on your page, but I'm like, bro, everybody should have, especially all the Black Men networks and things of that nature, because I'm like, you just don't see, I can't name 2 other people. Like, normally, if I can't give you 3, then that means you're an anomaly. Right. So I just want to give you a prop for that, man. And if you want to touch on just what that felt like for you and your brother and, the whole organization, because for me, it's not highlighted, emphasized enough. And, being top 500 in anything is crazy because now, next thing you know, you're going to be top 250, top 100. And now we're like, okay, yeah. So,
hey, man, that feeling was surreal. I still think about it to this day. By the way, too, it was me, my brother, and Drew Miller.
I'm sorry, Drew.
Yeah, all talk. Yeah, it's good, bro. No, it's all good. I know you did. But all of us top 500 African American men, leading the industry, the financial industry. That right there, bro. That's like the pinnacle of everything. That feeling was so amazing. It still doesn't feel real, but now it just gave us a small taste of really what's possible when we, wake up every single day and strive to make change within, not only our lives but the communities as well too. So that right there, walking across stage in front of how many people was it? Was it
It's like 70,000.
70,000 people getting rewarded? That right there was like, all right, cool. You know, it's real. We're making real change, and I definitely can't wait to be back and walk the stage with more people. Now I'll pass it over to bro because this dude got awarded, by the way, too, for everyone who's viewing. So we were all three top 500. This dude was top 10, right? This dude was top 10 in Rising Stars, Rising Entrepreneurs. Him and his spouse, Carissa Seifert. So I'll just pass it over to him and I'll let him speak on that.
Oh, for sure.
Appreciate it, bro. Yeah, it was a surreal feeling. You know, we went to that convention. You know, myself and my significant other, we're not even a year into the business yet. Okay, so we were not expecting that whatsoever. So at first they were doing, I believe she got in the top 50. All right, she was number 37 or something like that. They called her and I'm like, oh my gosh, like let's go. I was like, I'm proud of you. I'm so happy for you. And then as we're going back to get her award and everything, I see my award there. I'm like, huh? Like, why's my award right here? Like, what did I do? Right? And then I hear my name being called over the speaker. I'm like, dang. Right? It's just really amazing to be recognized on the big screen. And I'll tell you this, like, all kudos to you and your brother, man. Like, Elisha and Elijah, we would not have made that there if it wasn't for you guys. You know, so like, us getting, you know, in the top 50 and the top 10, that's basically y'all getting in the top 50 and top 10 too, man.
Yeah, that's something to look at.
Hey, and honestly, man, again, I want to apologize just for not acknowledging, you know what I mean? I'm
good, man.
only limited to what my research is. Definitely don't want to, you know, not do you justice, bro. But everything that I've really heard has inspired me because, one, I ain't even gonna wait no more. Let's get into, you know, what we're actually talking about for those who don't know. So you guys have Wealth Professionals Worldwide. I know what that is, but for those who don't know, and I'm a big believer in nobody can talk about somebody's baby other than that individual. Because y'all got me fired up just telling me about that experience. So I just wanted you to, you know, guys, take as much time as you need just to explain what that means and what that is and what the company is. Because, you know, I could do it, but obviously I'm not going to bring the energy and excitement just because I'm not living it myself personally. But I definitely want the audience to know, you know, you guys aren't just bluster, you guys aren't just talking. You guys have literally built a business and continue to have success. So I always want to give you guys a moment just to share anything specifically about the business and what you want people to know, and how you got to Vegas in front of 70,000 people, because that ain't, like, come on now, who you know in your personal circle is doing that. So
yes, sir, man. First and foremost, thankful for the man upstairs. That's, you know, right off the rip. You know, without him, anything that we accomplish is even remotely possible. And how we got there, you know, it's just financial literacy. You know, so the Wealth Professionals and Drew, who talk about, you know, his brand that he has as well too, which is also, you know, extension of the Wealth Pros. But what we do is we teach people financial literacy and business ownership. You know, so it just starts budgeting, savings, and investments. We teach people about retirement. We teach people about money. We teach them how their money grows, how their money's taxed, you know, rule of 72, different financial concepts that we weren't taught in high school, we weren't taught in college, and we definitely wasn't taught out there in the society, the economic world, or even, you know, even in the job world. They don't really teach us all of these things at all too. So
and that's intentional.
It is, bro. It is intentional. Is to keep us, is to keep us where we're at. You know, so there's and honestly, how we got there is because we didn't have the information ourselves, right? So we were a testament of what everyone else is maybe currently living and going through, you know, in their life. But the only thing that was different was we got the information, we ran into the right person, and we decided to take action. So from there, we kicked everything off. We started a financial literacy firm, the Wealth Professionals Worldwide, and we just teach people about basic financial concepts that they need to become financially free. They have more time freedom, and they have way more ownership, and most importantly, so they can, you know, have the proper education to put themselves in the better positions. So that's pretty much it. Anything financial you can think of, we do it.
Yeah.
Right? We do it.
And honestly, I was before we let Drew go, I was peeping the website. I'm like, because I'm trying to do my research. I'm like, damn, is there anything they? Because you know, for those who don't know, I do financial literacy as well. But again, that's why I said I'm so in awe by these gentlemen, because I started to reevaluate what I'm doing. I'm like, damn, I'm small scale compared to what they're doing. You know what I mean? And I say that respectfully because for me, it's not an ego thing. It's not a jealous thing. It's just, again, like I said, these gentlemen came right out of college, killing it. I was a late bloomer. Like I literally had to go into the banking field to be able to understand the significance. I'm like, I wish I knew right out of college what I know now. But I say all that to say is because everything you guys are doing with the company is phenomenal and it's what is needed. And again, that's why I was so excited to have you guys on because it's like, okay, now this is a platform where I always want to bring people who are more successful than me or know more than me because at the end of the day, I want our people to understand that it's not about, it's about bridging the wealth gap.
Yeah.
And I believe everything you guys do is direct correlation to how we're going to be able to do that. So I said how to say, Drew, go ahead and talk about, your baby, man.
So, and my brokerage is called Ascend Financial. We are an extension of the wealth professionals, okay? And we all do the same thing, right? Elijah talked about the financial literacy, all right? We have a lot of, we like to call crusaders on our team, right? People who really stand behind our mission and really represent that with, honesty, integrity, and excellence. So, normal wealth management firms like JP Morgan, and things like that, they help people who have like a lot of liquid assets, right?
Yeah.
Like they'll say basically if you don't have $500,000, $1 million liquid cash to your name, we're not going to help you, right? What we're doing, we're spreading this information to the masses, right? So there's Wall Street and Main Street, I like to say. We're trying to bring Wall Street to Main Street so everybody can have the same exact knowledge as the top 1%, right?
Yes.
That's our end goal. Now, aside from the financial literacy aspect, we bring a lot of mindset, right? A lot of mindset. Let's say that 80% of this business is mindset, the other 20% is just knowledge, okay? So we like to do a lot of mindset trainings with our teams and our members, and a book I'll recommend to you guys is The Power of One More by Ed Mylett, right? To be financially secure and have financial resilience, right, you need to have a positive association with money, right? I didn't have a positive association with money growing up, neither did my family, so I had to, come here and I had to develop that, okay? And having a positive association with money, that makes you develop, right, and sharpen your financial thermostat, okay? Ed Mylett talks about that in his book, okay? Usually people who do not have a strong financial thermostat or it's not set to the right level, right? Those people right there, they don't feel deserving of having wealth or generating wealth on their own terms, okay? So what we're doing, we're helping all of our people develop that strong financial thermostat so they can have a better relationship with money, right? And that's going to reflect in their own finances, their family's finances, and then they can do the job a lot better as well.
I ain't gonna lie, I'm sitting here listening I'm getting excited. I'm like, oh, this bro preaching. But no, I love it, man, because it's so needed, and I'm so appreciative of you giving that tool and resources as far as just naming the title and author of a book. Because a lot of times, and I'm sure you guys experience this too, we're out in the world and we see people who are in different jobs and different career paths, and they think that they can't have a multiple stream of income lifestyle, or they can't have, or they don't even place a significance for themselves having a good financial literacy. I'm like, I don't care, and I don't want to disparage any career, but I'm like, I don't care what your job is. There is more you can do to be able to have a better lifestyle and not just be punching the 9 to 5. But I don't want to go on a tangent on that, but I do want to highlight, the space we're in right now. So if it hasn't become apparently clear to you, this is Elijah and his brother's event space. Again, it was highlighted in several publications. I know y'all see the beautiful chandelier. At some point, you will see all the pictures on social media as well if you've never been in this space. But the reason why I bring that up is because, yes, he has the wealth professionals worldwide, and again, we'll talk more about it. But he also has this beautiful event space where he's making, you'll let me know about how much passive income is. Not that you gotta give a number, but this brother could be wherever he's at chilling on the island, or I don't even know if he's vacation, but he could be anywhere in the world, and he has this bringing him, X amount of dollars every month, every year, and just little things like that. Seeing someone who looks like us being able to do it, and there's many ways to have passive income, but I'm just so excited and impressed by, literally this space is beautiful and immaculate. If you've never seen it, You definitely need to, if you got a wedding, you got a birthday, and I'm gonna plug it for him. He ain't gonna say that. But it's just one of those spaces, and it's in Homestead, man. Right where, we got the waterfront right down the street. So it's just an ideal space. And I say all that to say because when we do see people like us, I don't want to say, I don't want to say you fell into this, but it's not necessarily in the best location.
Right.
It's in an impoverished community where, certain people can use it, certain people can't.
Right.
This is the waterfront's a big deal. Like, you follow the money in the city. This is up there as one of the places where people come. But I say all that to say, bro, just let us know, how this came to be. What are some of anything you want to share? Because I don't want to get too in your personal, but
Yeah, man, this right here, it's like a dream come true, honestly. We started our entrepreneurship journey, by the way, I don't think we talked about it, but we started off doing parties.
Okay.
So our main goal that we had in our life was to get a club.
Right.
And when we graduated, that couldn't happen because nobody would approve us, they wouldn't want to work with us, and then, there's a lot of stuff that goes into it. But when COVID happened, at that point in time, it was a crisis for some people, but for others, it was an opportunity. And we were one of those people it was an opportunity for. And from there, we was like, all right, cool. We got enough saved up, our credit and everything is good. It's time for us to actually position ourselves and make a move. And if we're not going to do it, I remember we were in the balcony in Miami. Well, I told my brother, look, if we're not going to do this now, we're never going to do it ever. Right? So at that point in time, we was like, all right, cool. Let's just jump in. Let's figure it out. Hired a realtor. She found the space. Well, I found the space. I brought it to her. We toured it. We came to visit it. It didn't even look like none of this. There wasn't any bathrooms in here or anything. We had to redo a lot of this stuff in here. But it was a solid spot. It was enough square footage, and we made that move, right? So I think we opened up our doors, I want to say maybe 2022, I believe, and we named it Hill and Company Event Center because our goal always was to have our name up on the building. We always used to see UPMC, the Westinghouse, the Frick, and now we got our own property with the Hill last name on it as well. So it's like a dream come true, right? So that's how that came into fruition. It really fell in our lap, but it was the opportunity that knocked on the door, and we just took advantage of it, bro. Yep.
Man, that's awesome, man. And Drew, I'm gonna come to you with this one, man. You talked a lot about the services that you guys provided. What would you say? Because I'm a firm believer, budgeting and credit is where it needs to start before you start getting into, and not even this, just for the side of making more money, I guess is what I'm trying to lead you to. What outside of people getting the foundation, what's the next step that you try to pour into people as far as, or is it more of, hey, I'm gonna listen to what their goals and aspirations are, what they're trying to do, and then cater it specifically to them? Or is it, they have no idea, let me give them the sauce? Or is it a combination of both? I mean, you let me know.
Honestly, it's a combination of both because, it's not a cookie cutter situation for everybody.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, your needs may be different than Elijah's, my needs may be different than yours, things like that. So you're never going to use the same approach for every single person. Now, you will present the same information to almost every single person, but you got to think, not everyone has the same goals, so not everyone's going to take the same information that you give them, right, and actually apply it.
Right.
So I will say it's definitely depending on who you're sitting down with, right? We establish their goals for them. We baseline take them through a presentation, right, that outlines who we are, what we do, what we stand for, why we do what we do, and then some financial concepts, right? Some people may know them, some people may not, all right? But something I also do is ask them, what type of freedom are you seeking? Okay, and there's two types of freedom, all right? Now, a lot of people don't really know these because it's on like a deeper level, okay?
Right.
So there's gonna be surface level freedom, all right, and higher level freedom. Surface level freedom, that's gonna be more external and more measurable, right? So you may have someone who says, all right, if I have $1 million liquid in the bank, that's freedom for me, right? I can live off that, I can retire. That's not entirely true, but that's a sense of freedom for them right there.
Right.
Okay.
We hear that all the time.
Exactly. Now, service level freedom, that's like freedom from ignorance, freedom from poverty, things like that.
Right.
Now, there's high level freedom, right? That's going to be more internal and also more qualitative. Right. So that right there is going to, kind of cause you to pick a standard, right? Your standard of living. Say your standard is, you want to monetize it. I'm not going to go more than 5 months without making $10,000 a month. Okay, that's your standard. Maybe your standard is, I'm building my business, I'm gonna bring people in that fit my core values, I'm not settling for anything less. Regardless of what it is, you pick that standard, right, and you live off of it, no matter the risks and the costs associated with it. Now the thing is, no one can give you surface level freedom or high level freedom, right? It's your conscious decision to choose which one you want to have.
Right.
Okay, so I also lay that down for the people that I sit with, right? Because it's not just about helping them with their finances, it's about getting them, straightened out with their life as well. I like to say, a person you sit down with, whether it be a client or a business partner, that's going to be a long-lasting friend as well.
Yes.
With our platform and what we do personally, we like to build relationships with every single person we come in contact with because, in business and in life, if you have no relationship, you will essentially have nothing.
Bro, I see why you was top 10. I'm like, oh yeah.
Oh, man.
I laid him up one and he and then Elijah, I'm gonna go with you with this one, man. One of the things I enjoyed about when you were speaking was you mentioned you and your brother, wasn't able to get the nightclub. As someone who has a banking background, spent 6 years between 2 different financial institutions, at some point I realized, there's a ceiling on the money I can make. And I'm trying to tie this together for you. So for me, it was like, all right, I gotta do something different. But it was also like, you know what? I'm bringing in, I don't even know what my number out. I brought in millions of dollars in loans. I brought in countless of customers, but my income wasn't reflecting the performance that I did. So, and then you guys being on the other side at the time where you're like, damn, we can't get funding to get a nightclub. We got everything. And that led me to like, you know what? I want to be able to walk in these rooms when I'm talking financial literacy and give the unwritten, spoken transparency language that you're not going to get from any financial institution or anyone who works for a financial institution because they're an employee of that institution. And we know that there is all types of barriers that are still associated in banking because, that's how they make money. I say all that to say, so when I'm in these rooms, when I'm speaking at schools, nonprofits, whatever I'm doing, my goal is to give the information, but give the reasonings why, and to give that backdoor, behind the scenes talk that, hey, there's analytics behind every decision these banks make. There's a reason why they do what they do. But in our community, we don't take the time to really want to sit down and digest why things are the way they are and look at it from a business perspective. But I say all that to say, what was that like for you when you guys still overcame and still got what you guys wanted? But just that process of now that you are thriving in so many different businesses and so many different areas, how do you correlate that to the relationships and the partnerships that you guys forge with people as far as like, just what's your tactic and approach?
Man, strategic partnerships. That's the main thing. I would say strategic partnership because we spun, the success some people may see now, that took years, to make. That took a lot of grit, a lot of sleepless nights,
Right.
a lot of failure that people don't even know, a lot of money lost that went into it, a lot of starting over, had to go get a job 1 or 2 times just to stack up my bread again and get back to square one, right? So as far as how we spend our time now, and we just do strategic partnerships with people who are 100% serious because it's easy to quit. It's if you don't have that will, that drive to keep pushing, that most people don't have, then chances are you might just be wasting your time with someone. Everyone deserves the opportunity, but the opportunity is not meant for everyone. Right? It's only a couple of people. And when we were coming up on our journey, it was just a timing thing. Honestly, TC, I heard you say late bloomer. We were late bloomers ourselves as well too, right? So we ran successful businesses, but we still wasn't financially literate, honestly. Right? All of the stuff that people say, that was straight cash moves. It wasn't credit. It wasn't any of that. We just knew how to stack our money, budget, live underneath our means, all of those things. And it wasn't up until I want to say 2019 where it hit me like, all right, cool. I got my credit's always been good, but I scaled it, right? And then from there, I started falling in love with the aspects I go into, the stuff that people don't really see.
Right.
And, the financial literacy stuff walked right into my lap. And I would say in my first 12 years as an entrepreneur, I would say in the last year, I'm a whole different person than I was in the first 12 years. And if I would have known the information that I would have known, I would be a lot further than I am now. But I mean, it's a timing for everything.
Hey, honestly, man, that's phenomenal because as we transition into, because I definitely want to get back on topic with, the wealth professionals worldwide, because I think, again, like I said, if you haven't caught on the theme, is really trying to just spark inspiration and change in the mindset and trying to bridge the wealth gap. Obviously, I'm going to recommend you guys tapping in with them or tapping in with me. It doesn't really matter. Honestly, we're looking at that'll be another conversation that we have off camera, a possible collaboration, because the goal is to, this whole podcast is really just about seeing Black representation, and we talk about finances. And nobody embodies that better than you guys, because the work you do and have been doing and will continue to do is really changing lives. So my question for you guys is, because I just did a workshop yesterday, and I was and I always ask targeted questions just to see who I'm dealing with. I asked, first question was, does anybody in the room own a house? Had no hands. And this was a group of diverse age groups too. So we're looking at maybe youngest probably could have been 27 and up. So it was like, okay, does anybody have life insurance? Maybe 3 people. So, and again, it was very telling because I'm like, all right, you guys are here to get a career, phenomenal. But I wanted to speak to their mind and say, hey, that career shouldn't be the end all be all to your financial growth and success and, so have you. Just how do you guys, and I don't want to lead you, but what is your whole thought process about the lack of, I don't even want to say, obviously we know the lack of education is there, but how do you guys speak to mindset? Because, yeah, it's easy when somebody comes looking for you, but when you're in a room with individuals who don't necessarily, they didn't pick me to come there, the company did. And so when I realized, the company bringing me in, they paying me, but I want to speak to changing your guys' mindset. Yeah, I'm going to give you the information I'm going to give you, but I want to change your mindset. And then by the end of the class, I know I've had success, whether I got the whole room wanting to get my number and contact information, or if I got 1 or 2. So just speaking to how do you guys go about your day-to-day life trying to change mindsets? It's my basic question, not just saying all that.
Yeah, man. I mean, first and foremost, there's 2 types of mindsets you can have. You can either have an employee mindset, which it serves people some purpose, at the end of the day, but it won't set you financially free, and it won't buy you your time freedom either, right? And then there's entrepreneur-minded people. So that's what we tailor our talks to, is entrepreneur-minded, standards within a workplace, within a business space, and then on top of that as well too, we're constantly drilling them with the same information. It may sound repetitive, but it may come from a different angle, and at that point in time, people may pick up something differently from that conversation. So what we do, we just talk about entrepreneurial minded, and we talk about their dreams as well too. All right, so we remind them of what their vision is and how they think they're going to accomplish it, because at the end of the day, again, it's a two-way street. You could have an employee mindset, and that could get you by so far, but at some point in time, in order to accomplish all of your dreams, you got to, one, either own 100% of your time, or at least own 100% of your mind. So that's what we really that's what we focus on.
Steal that one. I don't know if you got that trademark. I was like, oh, okay.
Hey, you said you got a trademark now.
Yeah. That's how we in the day,
Another thing is we teach people ownership. Right? We're really big on ownership. If you have ownership in something, if you own something, there's a solution for everything. If you own nothing, there's a solution for nothing. Right? And then also something that we really try to put a focus on is having people think, everything you have going on in your world right now, what is most important to you? Okay, people usually say, a family, things like that. Family is the most common answer. Okay, cool. You said your family. So what happens without you, or what doesn't happen without you. You know, what doesn't happen if you don't do this opportunity. You know, what's the state of your family look like? Client-wise, okay, you said your family's most important to you. What happens if you're not protected, right? Is your wife struggling? Does she have to go get a job? Who's going to be watching the kids?
Right.
You know what I mean? So I really believe that with what we do, we use real-world examples. You know, I hate to call them pain points, but you have to hit on people's pain points. So they have a self-realization like, okay, this is real life. I don't have this. I'm not doing this right. Where's my life going to be 10, 15, 20, 25 years from now if I don't make this adjustment? Right?
Hey, that's awesome, man, because you hit the nail on the head. And it's really just about, I never go into anything. Like, I have a pre-schedule what I want to talk about, but I never structure my words or I get real authentic and real transparent. And I can tell you guys are similar. And it's been working, man, because I do want to get your guys' opinion on this. So 2026, that law was passed last year, December 2023, where high schools have to mandate financial literacy as a course for them to graduate. I'm curious to what you guys think about that. Before I let you answer, I'm gonna just give you mine real quick. I'm a little concerned from the fact of who's going to be spearheading it. Is it going to be financial groups, financial corporations, businesses, what have you? And while I'll be transparent. I'm fine with that if it's spread around. They're trying to condense public schools and, you've got charter schools and you got private schools. If it's going to be, try to be a monopoly thing, I'm not cool with that. Because I work with nonprofits that got a lot of money. I work with nonprofits that got no money. I work with, So for me, there's a mission behind what I'm trying to do. It's not just to be monetizing off in because now all of a sudden everybody's in the financial literacy. Right. But I say all that to say, if there is going to be intentionality about having, black, white, having it spread across multiple or even a handful of people, organizations, because right now I'm a private contractor. But I want to make sure, the powers that be, and I don't know if it's the school board or, I don't know who, going to be that final say so, but I want to see diversity and real transparency and not just the big banks or whoever having their people in there and all they're trying to do is build their growth. Because usually that's what everything entails with them, as someone who was on that side. But just curious to what your guys thought. Drew, if you want to go first.
Yeah, I got you. In my opinion, man, I'm glad it's happening. 25 out of 50 states require a standalone course of personal finance to graduate from high school. That should be 50 out of 50. Like myself, I think I had a home ec class. They taught me how to balance a checkbook, and that was it. But I feel like it should definitely be diversified because coming from the black community, an African American male will probably take a better course from an African American male.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Like if they're trying to teach you about financial literacy, okay, you can assume, okay, he's from my heritage. He probably walked the same steps that I'm walking right now. He's probably within the same position I'm in right now. Right? I feel like a lot of African American males, they kind of misuse credit. That's what I've seen in my community, at least. They get a $10,000 limit on a credit card. They think they can go and spend $10,000. And I'm speaking from experience because that was me in college.
I believe at some point we've been early. Yeah.
I kid you not. This was probably my second year of college, my sophomore year. I had like a $3,000 limit on a credit card. You know what I did? I went out to the mall, bought some new Jordans, bought some new clothes, cologne, things like that. Got a statement, $2,900 spent. I'm sitting there thinking, okay, I can pay this minimum. I'm like, why did my credit score go down? Then I learned, I'm over that 30% utilization.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I feel like definitely different ethnic groups coming to speak about that and actually teach that to people. I believe people would take it a lot more serious and people would actually, develop that more into their everyday lives as well.
For sure. And then before Elijah goes, I'm big on, you can speak to me, but if I can't read between the lines and see that, he's speaking to me, but he's not speaking at me. I think there's a huge difference. And that mindset came from me when I worked with the Garfield Jubilee, and I'm dealing with kids who, they get paid to come and get these life skills. And they give it they don't care, I don't give a damn if you got a suit on. How you talk to me, whether I know more than them or not, is irrelevant. It's can they see and be the information that I'm feeding them, can I relate and can I speak to them in a manner that they feel like, oh, that makes sense. And real quick, I always get feedback after my presentation just to see good, better, and different. They said, we know you do good if none of your kids leave. Because nobody goes to the bathroom, nobody, you know what I mean? And that's, for me, what I want to make sure is going to take place when we're talking about who's teaching these kids. You know, because I'm sure you're not putting that onus on the teachers. Shoot, sometimes the teachers might be in a bad situation. You know what I mean? So for me, it's just I want to make sure what it's going to look like is fair game to everyone, and not just the higher powers that be.
And there should definitely be like a clear vetting process with that. You know, like make sure the people they want to be there not just to get paid.
Right.
They want to be there like, okay, do you actually want to make an impact on this person's life financially? Right. Do you actually want to dive and see what the world's like? Right. You can teach the kid. Right, but ask them what their parent situation is like. Because the kid's gonna regurgitate whatever their parents are teaching them. So it's like when you're in that position, you have to go further than just the surface. Like I was talking about high level freedom, you got to go more of a high level connection with them.
Right, absolutely.
Yeah, I agree with that 100%. You know, I definitely think it's going to make major impact for sure. I would definitely go, like you said, a little bit deeper into it. You know, of course, the people, you definitely don't want them to. Education's free, right? Education's free at the end of the day too. So nobody should really be, getting charged for it, from that standpoint. But as far as that goes too, I think it would be a little bit more beneficial if the parents come on board as well too, right? Because financial literacy is not taught in schools, but when they do put it in schools, there's still traumas that they go to at home, right? Exactly. So when they go to the crib, their mom or their parent might not be financially literate, and then everything they just learned, it might go right out the window.
Exactly.
And you might have one of those two students that it clicked for them, and then when they go home, they want to make a change. But for the ones who don't stick for, a little bit deeper into the surface, I think if they brought it into the schools and then they brought the parents in to bring them on board,
right,
then you can have a little bit more impact on it as well too.
Right, and then even to incentivize it for the parents, because we know sometimes the parents, and I don't want to get on a tangent with this, but a lot of times the parents have so many reasons, I'll say reasons nicely, that they can't be involved in the school. If you throw a little money incentive, whatever that looks like for the parent and the student to get a little certificate saying I'm financial literate, who knows what that'll do? I mean, I want there to be some transparent conversations going around about what this is going to look like. Because I'm like, bro, I've been doing this work before y'all even thought about this from the state level. Hold up. So, but I'm going to get you guys out on this. Before I want to give y'all, your last thoughts and things you want to let people know. First off, how can people find you guys and connect with you? If you're not on social media, I'm about to hit Drew up on social media as soon as we're done here. I'm already connected with Elijah. The website, what's the best way? Email, phone number, all that good stuff to get in touch with you guys.
Yeah, you can just honestly find us on social media. Elijah 12 Hill on all platforms, or the Wolf Pros. And my brother, his is E Hill CEO on all platforms. So we're on Facebook, we're on LinkedIn, Instagram, YouTube, all types of stuff. So if you just search our name or shoot us a DM, we'll give you the link to contact us as well too.
Yep. Same here, just social media, IG, Facebook, LinkedIn, at Drew Miller 1 for everything. Right.
So I'm gonna get you guys out on this one. Elijah, you and your brother, again, I hadn't known of you guys, but I didn't know you personally. But I'm big on somebody's reputation that you hear about them prior to you even meeting them can speak volumes. And a few people I know you guys. Hey, they cool dudes, down to earth. And this is before I did my learned about you guys. And they were like, man, you would never know the level of success that I had. And then I think I met you before, but I know we both remember meeting each other last in July when we did the mental health financial literacy thing here at the Hill Company Event Center. Thank you. And so I say all I have to say, man, the phenomenal reputation you've built based on just how people talk about you when you're not even in the room is a testament to your guys' character. And I'm just immensely, proud that when I actually did meet, us remember that we met each other, that was exactly the vibe I got. I'm like, yeah, his reputation precedes him very well. And I'm just curious to, what's your perspective on legacy, how you're perceived, things of that nature. Like, obviously, you're going to do what you're going to do regardless. But what is that? Do you give that thought? Have you given that thought? Just what would you like the masses, to speak about you and your brother?
Yeah, first and foremost, your reputation is everything in business. Doesn't matter how much money you make, doesn't matter how much success. None of it, comes from us personally. It's all God given. So, humble in that aspect of it. And then secondly, as well too, we think about that every single day. Our reputation. That's how people gonna remember you when you're gone.
Right.
Oh, he was a good dude. Nobody had anything bad to say about him. He never, took any food off of anybody's plate. He always had the hand to give. And, if he had a hand to give, I know he has a good heart. So that's how we look at it, at the end of the day too, just moving real thorough, good people. And then how we want to be remembered, honestly, just creating the most job opportunity for our people. When we graduated from Slippery Rock, we couldn't get hired nowhere. It's not like our goal was to get hired. Anyway, we were already in an entrepreneurial bag, but we wanted to test it out. And I promise you, no company hired us at all. And that just turned us up even more. So
That's crazy.
because of that right there, we offer internship for students that come through all the state schools. And then our main goal is to provide as much job opportunity for people of all backgrounds. Doesn't matter, black, white, Asian, Spanish, whatever they look like, but to allow them to know, all right, cool, these dudes did it from Wilkinsburg. They didn't have any resources at all, and they got it out the mud, and I know it's possible for me, so we think about that every day, bro. Legacy is the reason why we even named this building Hill & Company Event Center, because when you drive up and down the block, you're definitely going to remember the Hill Brothers, for sure, and when we're going, man, you're definitely going to have good things to say about us as well, too, so yeah, that's that.
Yeah, mine's pretty much the same as Elijah's here. But I will say my main goal right now is getting more people familiar with what we do that are on the younger spectrum. Right? I'm 24 years old, and a lot of people that are around my age demographic, right? They think that because you're young, it means you cannot be successful within our field and what we do, right? Because who do you see in the financial industry? Like older people, it's a common 40-year-old, 45-year-old white male. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it's it's becoming like a much more lucrative industry to where younger people are getting into it. Like if I would have heard this when I was 18 years old, man, I can only
In my
imagine
30s.
what I'm Dude, I just want to spread more knowledge to like high schools, colleges. I'm probably gonna go to my old college and speak because I was really tight with the business professor, and he was in finance before. He understands the industry. And when I told him I was getting into it, he's like, I'm super proud of you, right? No one else, like in your class, like even in the school right now, has thought to go into that.
Right.
And I'm like, okay, cool. With my school, right now, I'm going to be the difference maker. Once I go into it, see what it's about, I'm going to come back, preach to the masses what it's done for me, what it can do for you, right? The type of legacy you can leave. And like a one-liner I'll leave, for my legacy, the goal isn't to live forever, it's to create something else that will.
Love it. And then he can show you how to do it. So before I close out, man, y'all got anything last thing y'all want to say? Anything y'all want to talk about that we didn't? For me, this is about, I don't want people to hear my voice the most. I want them to hear the voices of people I respect, people I admire, people who are going above and beyond of what I even think is possible. So, any floor is y'all's for the moment. If not, I'll close this out.
I'll keep it short and sweet. Just keep your mindset sharp. Always be seeking out, further knowledge, more education, because the worst thing you can be is stagnant and stuck. And that's in business and in life. Right? You always want to be reaching and striving towards something higher, right? Everyone says, your floor is what you have and your ceiling is what you make it. If you have no ceiling to yourself, the sky's the limit, okay? And be obsessed with progress, all right? Progress over perfection. And I'll leave this with a one-liner as well, you don't want to confuse movement with progress because you can be running in place.
Tell these boys as leaders.
Hey, I don't have anything to add on to that. Shout out to Drew. You know, he came into business with us back in November, him and his spouse, and they completely transformed everything. So I definitely want to give Drew his flowers as well too, and then I want to give TC, you know, his respect too. I checked out your website, man. You do notary work. See you come down here. You got your podcast going on. You had your food cooking, great food.
Oh, yeah.
You know, you got a lot of financial stuff going on. So just wanted to give you your platform and your flowers too, bro, because we recognize, you know, and we peep game, and you know, that's the conversations we love to have, bro. So keep doing you. We're super proud of you, man, and we definitely can't wait to build. And for everyone who's watching, make sure you like, subscribe, and share to this. And most importantly, do something that is going to change your life, right? It may not change your life right away, but shortly, you know, after that, if you stay consistent enough and you're committed, I promise you, everything is going to look differently. So shout out to my guy TC, Financial Literacy with TC. It's been an honor to be on this podcast, man, this episode, and we can't wait to do many more.
Hey, man, I love you, brother. He just closed it out for me. So with that being said, man, I ain't got nothing else to say. Hey, I appreciate y'all watching this episode. Be on the lookout. We're going to continue to have more great things for y'all. We out. Financial Literacy with TC.
I'm getting money, you see me. Stack it up to the ceiling. If you're looking for me, you know just where to find me. I'm on a pod with TC, with TC.